Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys back in today's video with another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we're looking at the VHS Retro Collection Spider-Man Daredevil vs. Hydra Man 2-pack. This right here is such a weird pairing, to the best of my knowledge, and look, I haven't seen the Spider-Man animated series in quite some time, but I don't recall these two sharing any screen time together, not just in Spider-Man, but in any of the other Marvel animated shows. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I did read somewhere that they may have, but I just can't find anything. But yeah, here's a look at the side with those VHS numbered 1, 2, and then on the other side you just get some more pics by Harry Moore. Always love seeing his art. And the back you get the two figures and a UPC. In case you see this in a Target or something, I don't know. But yeah, without further ado, let's open this up. And here they both are out of the package, and dude, I just have to say I absolutely love these two figures. But do I love them being included together? No, not really. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's a lot like the very first VHS Retro Collection 2-pack, where it came with Black Suited Spider-Man and Carnage. At that point in the animated series when Carnage made his debut, Peter Parker hadn't had the symbiote suit in quite a while. The symbiote was with Eddie Brock at the time, Venom. Yeah, so that 2-pack didn't make a whole lot of sense, but both symbiotes, I get it, it's passable. This though, just like just like the symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage, those two never shared any screen time. These two never shared any screen time, but there's really nothing connecting these two characters with each other. Now, again, I could be wrong. They could have shared some screen time in another animated series, and I just don't remember or haven't seen it yet. However, I'm just going to stick with my headcanon and say that, Peter Parker and MJ went to Matt Murdock and hired him to help them file a restraining order against Morris because bro cannot let it go. You gotta move on, dude. So yeah, first up, I think I'm gonna take a look at Morris himself, Hydra Man. Hydra Man would make his very first appearance in the episode Neogenic Nightmare Chapter 3, Hydra Man, which first aired on September 23rd, 1995. While he was in the Navy, he was involved in an accident which exposed him to an unknown gas, which turned his body entirely into water and also gave him the ability to control water. Think Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, just made entirely of water. Yeah, he's just pretty much a waterbender in the Marvel universe. But yeah, looking at this figure, and dude, I love the detail. Of course, this is straight from the Netflix Luke Cage figure, who I'll show off to the side here. And it is also the same exact mold that was used for the first Hydra Man figure that we got back in the Multiman wave from Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, that one I'll do some more comparisons in a bit. Yeah, going up here, and I was really surprised to see that they actually put some paint apps on this figure, some white lines. We'll get to that. You probably noticed something's a bit off right there. I've noticed it too. I'll address it later. But right now, let's continue looking at this sculpt and the paint apps. Yeah, just top notch here. My biggest issue with this version of Hydra Man was that, as you can see, the blue, there weren't any paint apps on top of it. It was just a clear blue, which is, all right. I have really no issue with it, but man, would it have looked a lot better with some white paint apps like we get here, some white lines. And yeah, that's what they did here. Dude, looking so great. And I also love that they, instead of giving him these big ol' arms, they instead gave him some just regular arms. Everything on this figure is translucent. There isn't a single solid piece going through here. Of course, it does show some of the inner workings of the action figure, but I think that's okay. It's not really noticeable from too far. Well, it is, but again, it doesn't bother me. But no, continuing up to the head, and dude, I absolutely love this head. Look how sinister he looks. Bro's on his way to make Mary Jane's life a living hell. And he could not be any more happier about it. Yeah, I love that smile, and his eyes and his eyebrows look great as well. And of course, he has some white lines for his hair right there, which is a really cool effect because it sort of looks like a wave, you know, like a wave crashing down. Love, love, love that. But yeah, sadly, on the back of the figure, as soon as you hit that, it's just devoid of any paint apps whatsoever. I kind of wish we had gotten more on the back as well. All right, next, let's take a look at the paint apps and sculpt of the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, the man without fear himself, Daredevil. Daredevil would make his first cameo appearance in the Marvel Animated Universe in X-Men the Animated Series in an unvoiced role, but he would make his full appearance in the episode Framed from Spider-Man the Animated Series on September 21st, 1996. He very quickly became a strong ally to Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and yeah, this figure does his appearance from the show Justice. He had tons of black cell shading going on in those episodes, and yeah, it's just super apparent here. Like, he has tons of that on this figure as well. From head to toe, this is the same exact figure as the one that was released in the Man Without Fear 3-pack, where he also came with Bullseye and Elektra. But yeah, again, here, it's just cell shaded, just cell shading everywhere. And yeah, I get it. A lot of people are not a fan of this sort of like genre of action figure, it seems. Like, people just hate the cell shading, but I think it actually works pretty well for Daredevil. This is a character that, you know, is really in the dark a lot of times. I mean, he usually only works at night, so it makes sense for a lot of his body to be blacked out. However, I feel like they just didn't do enough of it. Let's wait till he turns around. Yeah, you can see the back is pretty devoid of a lot of paint apps as opposed to the front here. Yeah, would have liked them to continue like this, like just straight down the back, but as you can see, like, there's like really nothing going on the shoulders, the lower back. The boots and gloves are also devoid of paint apps, but I think that's just like purposeful, just to set them apart as like, oh yeah, these are his gloves and boots. Whereas, like, let me bring in the Man Without Fear 3-pack, it all looked like just one suit, you know, one piece. So it's pretty cool to see them like separate now. Let's set him off to the side, and let's take a look at that Daredevil logo. Yeah, a lot of people took issue with the Daredevil logo on the Man Without Fear 3-pack because it just wasn't bright enough, or it didn't have like any shadowing. It was hard to see, you know. And it kind of is hard to pick up on the camera right here. However, it is, you know, clear as day on this figure because the outline right here is all black. It has that border around it, so you're able to differentiate. You're able to tell it's there, as opposed to this. The cell shading on this guy is a bit different, however, because you can see right here yeah, it has like lines and stuff. It looks really more like a comic book drawing than like an animated cartoon. As you can see, like on Spider-Man, they're just like big straight lines. However, here it, you know, just lines everywhere. Yeah, I really love this, as it could just like fit in with comic or animated, really. Now, going over accessories, and yeah, this is where that issue was, where I pointed out earlier. This figure came with two left-fisted hands. He was supposed to come with a right and a left, but yeah, they messed up and gave me the wrong hand over here. You could see, like, it's just completely wrong. Hopefully, I got this from Hasbro Pulse, and they're really good with like sending out replacements or stuff for when you get like QC issues like this. So hopefully, I can reach out to them and they'll reach back soon. But yeah, that's a really big disappointment there. He comes with two open hands, one for his left and right. Mori also comes with two water effects that plug in at his feet, and I love the paint detail on this one. Yeah, these are actually pieces that came out with the first version of Hydro Man. These ones also having a bit of paint apps too, not looking too shabby, but I kind of like the more vibrant white used for this. This one is a little more subdued in the paint apps, but yeah, you could see the difference between the two. Yeah, I'm loving these pieces a lot more. Not saying these ones are bad, but these ones are fantastic. And if that doesn't suit your fancy, I also saw like on the promotional images, them using these as like sort of water effects for him controlling them, which is something you could do too. It doesn't look that bad at all. For Daredevil, he comes with this neutral expression, which is the same head sculpt as the one that came on The Man Without Fear. He also comes with his angry expression. I love this one. The detail in the mouth alone is amazing. One question I had was, would you be able to like do like a head swap? Let me see. I think the red on the VHS is a bit darker, just a tiny bit darker. Actually, you know what? No, you can make it work, actually. Yeah, so if you got like some nail polish remover, remove some of the paint right here on the front. Yeah, it would go great on this version. It's a little loose though. He also comes with 2 fists, 2 open hands, which are great because it allows you to put him into some like parkour poses. He also comes with 2 C-grip hands and his 2 billy clubs, which are able to plug in to his little holster on the side here and fit quite snugly in his open C-grip hands. It also comes with this line which plugs into the bottom of each billy club. And yeah, just for that effect of him just yeeting that thing at like a hand ninja. Going over articulation, the head on Hydro Man moves up this much, moves down that much. He has a tiny bit of pivot and he does have side to side movement. He does have rotation at the shoulder and it has a hinge being able to move up this much. He has bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, and your standard wrist hinge going up, down, and all the way around. He's able to bend this far back, this far forward, and he does have some waist swivel, allowing him to move side to side. His leg is able to kick out this much, go out to the side that much, go back this far. He has upper thigh swivel, a double jointed knee, and his foot is able to move this far down, this far up, and he has... Now for Daredevil, his head is able to move up this much, go down a tiny bit. He has some pivot and side to side movement. His arm is able to bend this far up, go this far back, and this far forward. He has shoulder rotation, an upper bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, and a standard wrist hinge going up, down, all the way around. He has a diaphragm joint in the middle, which allows him to pivot and move side to side. And with the ab crunch at the bottom, he's able to bend this far back and go forward this much. He has a small amount of drop down at the waist, and his leg is able to kick up this much, go out to the side that much, and go back a tiny bit. He has upper thigh swivel. It's a little hard with this billy club holster. And he also has a double jointed knee, and he has upper calf rotation, and his foot is able to move this far down, this far up, the hinge, and... Now on to the size comparisons. Here is both versions of Hydro Man next to each other. Which one do I like more? I'm thinking more this one. However, I would love to do like a custom where I can just get this figure, the arms, and put it on this figure. Maybe that's a video for another day, perhaps? Here he is next to Mary Jane and Aunt May, Peter Parker and Alistair Smythe. Here's next to cel-shaded animated Spider-Man and Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, Green Goblin and Doc Ock, Modular Iron Man and Rogue, Cyclops and Wolverine, Morbius and Gary the Stormtrooper, the Marvel Legends Spider-Hams. Now on to Daredevil. Here he is next to the Man Without Fear 3-pack Daredevil. As to which one I prefer, I still like this one a lot more, but yeah, I still love this figure. This figure is great. I just like this one a little bit more. Now here he is next to 90s animated cel-shaded Spider-Man and Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, Mary Jane Watson and Aunt May, Peter Parker and Alistair Smythe, Green Goblin and Doc Ock, Modular Iron Man and Rogue, Cyclops and Wolverine. Now here we have him next to the Kingpin, Morbius and Gary the Stormtrooper, the Marvel Legends Spider-Hams, and finally here is Daredevil next to Hydro Man. Love the height difference, makes Hydro Man even more intimidating. Alright, time for my final rating and my overall thoughts. I'm going to give Hydro Man here a final rating of 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm feeling an 8 out of 10. He isn't like a perfect figure, but I think he's good. I had a lot of fun posing him around. I think his accessories are decent or in terms of hands. I mean, I know I got like a bad one, but that was just me. That was just a QC issue, so I can't really hold it too much against the figure itself. I love these little power effects right here that plug into his feet, or you could have them separate like this. Yeah, really great looking. Would have liked some more water effects too, but it's alright as it is. And I love the translucent plastic as well. Daredevil, on the other hand, I feel like my personal bias is coming in here because Daredevil is one of my all-time faves. 10 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. I won't pull another Dave Meltzer and go like 11 out of 10 for him, but I do think he is just dang near perfect. I love those head sculpts, those hands. Him having open hands this time around is such a welcome inclusion. And yeah, going off the head, those hands will go fine with your Man Without Fear 3-pack Daredevil, so they're pretty universal. Love that. And it's great because that cell shading is more comic book than TV animated, so it could fit in with your animated display or your comic book display. It's pretty good. I love the versatility of this figure. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Which brings the overall of this box set to a 9 out of 10. I would highly recommend picking this up, especially if you don't own Hydro Man already, or Daredevil, or maybe just want to get these figures again. Yeah, this is the perfect time to do it. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Anything you can do that'll support the channel will be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.